Hey everyone, and welcome back to the NFA Review channel. Today we're going to review something pretty cool, but before we get started, I just want to give a huge shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. The numbers are starting to climb back up post-holiday drop. So every holiday season we lose some patrons because, you guys have a lot of bills at home, a lot of gifts with the kids, stuff like that. Totally get it. But we are now adding more discounts than ever. So my goal for the 2021 year, is to have 20 discounts for that gold tier. As you know, the gold tier is $20 a month. That way you get one discount per dollar a month, which is pretty cool. Right now, I think we're at 14 discounts, which is already pretty epic. Great value for your dollar. So I just want to thank you guys again on patreon.com. It's been a huge help here the past couple weeks, especially with the increase in ammunition. Not to mention it's hard to find. Host as well. If I need to purchase a new host to review a suppressor, that certainly helps go towards that as well. So just before we started this video, I want to kind of give you guys a shout out. Now, as far as video, you're probably wondering the best way to organize your gun collection, okay? Mine has grown a lot over the years. Big part and thanks to you guys for watching the channel. I've been able to work with a lot of huge companies, and that comes with its perks, of course, as well as putting a huge dent and a lot of damage in my wallet. So how do we keep track of all of these for insurance purposes and just general theft, and for our own purposes as far as keeping track of how much we're spending on this hobby, and as far as keeping track of ammunition inventory? We're going to cover all that today with the new product from armorybook.com. Let's go ahead and get started. Like I said at the introduction of today's video, armorybook.com is going to give us a lot of options here on how to keep track of our collection. Let's go ahead and dive in. So to make it easy for you guys today, I'm going to have a screen recording going. I'm going to go ahead and start that now. And let's go ahead and zoom in here on what we're looking at. So if you go to armorybook.com, that's how you're going to find the website. And you'll see a write-up here and how to go ahead and set up your free private account. So we'll go ahead and click that to show you what you need to get going. Super, super basic. They don't need all your information, just your basic stuff to set an account. Once you log in, it will bring you over here to myguns.armorybook.com, and that's where you can log in and keep track of your collection. But for the time being, let's go back to armorybook.com and go back to their main page. So their main page, armorybook.com, is set up to kind of teach you how to use the software. So, and what I mean by that is if you go to the top and you click guns and you go to gun information, it's going to show you detailed information on exactly how to use and fill all the columns on their site. You have a screenshot gallery here. It's going to give you close-ups of how to use all the information. Okay, so pretty cool. Ammo, purchase inventory, contacts, how to add a contact, like a gun shop. More on that later. Info. So pretty cool. Now, when I talked to him, I said, where's your pricing at? He goes, well, typically what they do is you guys sign up to get the 5 free guns, and then if you're happy with it and you like the functionality, which I certainly was, you're able to upgrade depending on how many guns, not silencers, guns you want to log, because we log silencers under accessories, and your guys are going to find out why. If you click the frequently asked questions on their site, it is hidden in there. Go to pricing, how much does armorybook.com cost, and you have the layout here. Now, my followers, you guys are the more hardcore gun owners, NFA collectors. You're going to have typically, I would say, anywhere from 25 to 50 gun collection, somewhere around there. Now, again, it's not counting the suppressor as a gun for this, and that's really cool because technically the ATF designates suppressors as firearms, which is stupid, but that's the way they do it. And you're going to want to log these under accessories. Again, I'll explain to you why when we get into the software. But say you have 50 guns, go down here. Your monthly fee is going to be $19.99 a month, or you get a discount if you do the yearly at $200. Unless you're a gold member on my Patreon, you're gonna get half off. So that's gonna be $100 for the whole year. You're probably wondering, is it really worth $100 for the whole year to use the software? And in my opinion, yes it is. I've been playing with this for a while, about a month now, and because I reached out to them because I had a problem when I started to do my annual inventory on my gun collection for my insurance. I had to get a new insurance policy because I just bought my first transferable, a Fleming Sear and a MP5K PDW. So this cost more than my Tundra right now. So I really wanted to document everything and update it. You guys should do the same every year. Update your serial numbers on your firearms and your suppressors and the estimated retail value. So you have it all laid out. So if something, fire, hurricane, earthquake, theft, whatever it is, you guys have all the information at your fingertips for your insurance agent. So I reached out to armorybook.com, said, do you mind if I test and evaluate your product, and in exchange for my services going through, checking out your software, you guys can offer it for half price for my patrons at my gold tier at patreon.com, and they did, which is pretty rad. So once you log in, let's go ahead and skip ahead here. Once you log in, again, I can just start to type in my guns and it'll pop up myguns.armorybook.com. We'll log in here under my account since I spent a gazillion hours filling it out already, and we'll use it as an example for today's video. Anytime you guys log in, you'll see a green box here, and again, that's going to be kind of like a dummy's guide to how to use their software. Their software is pretty intuitive. I didn't really need to use this, but you could click on these if you're having problems. On your home page here, you can put any of the available graphs down here. There's spots for 4, so I went ahead and just filled it out. Right here, you have the collection value, so that's going to be the overall value of all of your guns, not your suppressors. Down here, accessory collection value, that's going to be all your suppressors, anything that's in your accessories. This is combined, so your firearms and suppressors in my case. And then up here, caliber breakdown, which is really cool because it shows you really how much ammo you should keep on hand. I have apparently 24 9mm hosts that goes for handguns or the carbines, the MP5, 4 300 blackouts, 4 308s, 10 45s, 4 12 gauge, 14 22s, love 22, 1 multi, that's got to be my can launcher gun. It's really an AR-15 lower, but I just logged it as multi. 5.56 by 45, 2 Deagles, gangsta, 6.5 Creedmoor 1, 4 357s, 120 gauge. That's got to be the Bear's Bark little sawed-off shotgun that everybody loves. Popular video. And then we have 2 AKs chambered in 7.62 by 39. So that's pretty cool caliber breakdown. So if you go to the top, AB is going to be this homepage. Guns is going to be where you can add and view your list that you've already compiled. So we'll click list. Apparently I have 77 total guns logged here. And you'll see you can organize it by anything. So I can click model here and you'll see it change. I can click make. It'll go in alphabetical order. You can do it again and it should reverse it. Yep, it did. Okay, so if you need a hot search anything, you can go up here and just type, Glock, and it should pull up all your Glocks, which is pretty cool. So to input a gun, let's just use one of these as an example. We'll just use the AK guy, the beautiful Shogun, number 7 of 47. So when you open the screen, you're going to see these drop downs. Now, most of them were populated. This one was not. But this plus sign enables you to add whatever you want for each category. So make, model, ammo, country of origin, pretty awesome. Your safes, your location. So anywhere you see a plus sign, you guys can add the information that's needed, and it'll store it here so it's here for the next time you need it in the drop-down menu on another page, which is pretty awesome. The AK guy, model 47, 2017. I gave it a nickname. You can leave that blank if you want. Serial number, the caliber, where it was made, estimated value, and where it is. I added my truck on this because I keep a suppressed SBR with some armor and some other fun toys in my locker down safe in my Tundra. So I wanted to know exactly where it's kept for insurance reasons. And then you can see here you have the location. Accessories. This is where you can add what suppressor you have on something. So I don't have a suppressor on this particular rifle right now, so there's no accessory selected, but that is why we separate the guns and the suppressors so you can actually mark what is on which. Because you guys are like me, once we toy around with enough of these, we like to build what we call a setup. For instance, this is probably off frame, but my Fight Light upper is a Posty M16 full auto lower with a Fight Light upper with an ACOG with a bipod and a Rugged Suppressors Razor 762 on it because it's belt federated. So that is a setup that pretty much is just it's gonna stay that way. So that's how I would log it in here. So if it does get stolen and I'm like, crap, what suppressor did I have on that? Instead of having to go through my whole inventory, I'd be like, officer, because again, I can pull it up on my phone. Let me unlock here. You can go to myguns.armorybook.com, log in, and you can see everything we're seeing here on my laptop. You can see it and log in and view all of your guns. Click list, and you'll see it pop up here, and we can view the whole list. You can show the officer the actual serial number, photos, whatever you need. Anyway, continue going down. Acquisition information, I suggest you leave blank unless you really like filling out data points. This is where you would put what gun shop you got it from, tracking numbers, literally everything. You could tell a software engineer designed this. If you fill out anything in this notes section at the bottom, it will require all the rest of the information. So do not do that. I found out if you want to add a note, come up here and you can keep adding notes and filling out what you need. Like, you know, has so-and-so furniture on it, has a Trigicon MRO and a bipod, blah, blah, blah. You can put all that here. Go down to the bottom, gun images. I don't have any added yet on this one, and then you would click save. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and show you that. So let's do Glock, and let's pull up the infamous Glock 19 Gen 3. That is the wrong year. That was a guess. It's definitely older than 2015. This is the Glock that I use for my intro animation scenes. Same serial number, SLU795. I took a bunch of photos of this gun from all different angles, sent it to a graphics designer like 8 years ago, and he texturized it and overlaid it onto an animation file, and that is where that came from. So pretty cool side information there. Now, as you can see here at the top, notes, used as subject for NFA review channel, intro animation. Scroll down, you'll see that I have the accessory listed as the Advanced Armament Tyrant 9. And then if you go down to gun images, this is empty by the way, all of these are. You can see that I added a photo. You can even zoom in on it on the app on the phone too. If you sold it, you can put sale information here. I just don't suggest that because less information anybody has on who you sold it to, the better. Now, if we go to accessories, you'll see that I have all the suppressors and one belt fed upper. Whoops, I still have fight up here in the search bar because I was looking for it. You can, so I have 58 suppressors logged in and one upper. If you look here, it's already in alphabetical order by brand. We are at 15 entries. Let's do all, and you'll see it expand, and you can just go down the list. So if we go to that Advanced Armament Tyrant 9 and click on that, you'll see it requires much less information for an accessory, but silencer was not here when I started. This was empty. So you go here and you can click and add silencer, suppressor, whatever term you want to use. And then as you start adding brands, they'll stay. So if you have 10 CGS group cans, you'll be able to drop down. You won't have to add it each time. And same with the models. I had 2 sirens, but once I put the first one in, I was able to come over here and input it. Serial number, nickname, estimated value. In the case of suppressors, I highly suggest putting your estimated value with your $200 tax stamp. So $600 can, $200 stamp, 800 bucks. That way if it gets stolen, you quick reference it, show proof, hey, to replace this, it's gonna cost this plus a tax stamp to make me whole again for insurance reasons. Again, if you want to put any notes, you could put that here. Acquisition information, I would leave blank. Accessory images, I did not put a picture of the suppressor. What I chose to do is put a picture of my tax stamp, which is cool. So again, if I'm at the range and a FUD walks up and he wants to see my paperwork, which we know we don't really have to show him, we can show him the tax stamp. Again, you can find it on your phone. Same with law enforcement. So pretty trick. You can keep your forms underneath your suppressors. and pictures of your guns underneath the gun. Let's not save this, cancel that, and go back. So that's guns, that's accessories. Ammo, I don't feel like getting any more gray hair, so I did not go in my ammo closet and input all that data into the software. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I'm not going to use that feature. If you guys want to use that, totally cool, because it lets you select when you go to the range. You can select how many rounds you shot. Even if you want to say, I shot 500 rounds through the Glock 19, 500 rounds through the Beretta, it'll actually start updating the wear and maintenance on each gun depending on how many rounds you have put through it. And it'll remind you of when to order ammo when it gets low to a certain preset point that you set. So the sky's the limit here. Pretty cool that this software exists, because, you know, with the liberals attacking us all the time and software companies typically being left-leaning, is pretty refreshing to have a pro-gun software such as armorybook.com. So ammo we'll skip. Contacts you can add. So my patrons on Patreon under the gold tier get just over cost on all guns and silencers ordered in through Gun Trader Den in St. Pete, Florida. So you would probably want to add their information here if you're a patron on Patreon, so you have quick reference to their cell phones, stuff like that. Now here's where we get to some cool part here. Come to the little graph icon, click gun information, and you can go ahead and click. There it goes. You can actually export the same list we just looked at however you want it to look. And what I mean by that is we'll go to all, so we'll show all guns, column visibility. We'll remove country. I don't care where it was made. I don't care about the caliber. Maybe we'll leave that on there. Rounds fired, last maintenance, acquired amount. Don't care. I want to know its value, and I need to know its serial number. So all this information here would be used by a gun shop doing an annual inventory check, or if the ATF came in to do a bound book check. This is supplemental information you guys can have on hand. You can set it up however you want. You can go up here and click make. Now it's in alphabetical order. How freaking awesome is that? And you can go up here to print. You can export it as an Excel or a PDF. Very cool. Same thing for the suppressors. This is the gun section. Go to the accessory section. That's where we have the suppressors. Again, you do the same thing. Click all, column visibility, and you can add all the information that you want. Very easy to reference. Okay. Again, I highly suggest logging the full retail value, so err on the side of caution there on your prized possessions. You can then export it. I've already done that. I actually have a hard copy of this stuff. I have PDFs. I have this, so I have the information in multiple places. Let's see. Gun analyzer, that's again where you can continue to do in-depth analytics on your guns. I haven't messed with it. Go down to contacts, graphs. All right, so guns by caliber, guns by country. Let's click on that. Inventory count of guns broken down based on country of origin. How cool is that? USA, 41 guns. Switzerland, 1. That must be the B&T, yep. Germany, Yugoslavia, Italy, Czech, that's that P10C, Austria. So pretty cool there. Let's go down to guns by caliber. I showed you that. If you tag them, accessory collection value, gun collection, and total collection. So if you click total collection, this would be an enlarged view of what you saw on your home page. So this would show all your guns and your accessories, in my case silencers, as one unit. Let's see, that's pretty much it for that. Again, you can get really in-depth here, guys, with the ammunition and how you want to use this. Now, if you accidentally put something in the wrong box and it keeps saving it for a drop down, like I did multiple times, I wasn't paying attention and I put, AAC under type instead of, type should just be silencer. And every time I click on it, it would say silencer or AAC. You can actually go over here to system settings and go to accessories, go to types, click on that, and it'll let you edit those drop downs from their dashboard here. So you see here, I have silencer there. So you can go in here, just click the trash can and it'll get rid of it. Or you can edit it, whatever you need to do. So I thought that was pretty cool because it saves them a lot of heartache and you a lot of heartache by having to send an email or click on a link here to have them come in here and unclutter your thing because you weren't paying attention and you put something in the wrong box. And you can do that with literally everything on here, down to the bullet type. Come up here to profile, and that's where you'll see your username and email. You can go to your subscription. That's going to show where you are. You can also update your subscription there. So if you wanted to go from the 5 free guns a month and you wanted to start paying at half off as a patron, you could go on there and choose whatever you needed to do. He's going to set you guys up with promo codes. PM me direct on Patreon to set that up. What's new is going to pop up stuff. This is some of the test and evaluation. I suggested to him to also add accessory collection value, and he did it. Scott went in there and added it, which is pretty cool. So they will listen to suggestions, you guys. And look, they even gave you a whole full rundown of what they did. Because before, you could only see your gun value. I said, well, my followers have a ton of silencers, and they're going to want to see the value that they have in those as well. So they went ahead and added the ability to see that information in the form of a graph. So that's pretty cool. So that is a new feature. Go over here to website, software suggestions. That's where you click that, it pops up an email, and it goes right to them. You say, hey, I feel like maybe you should add this, and they will respond to you. If you don't see a response like I did, check your junk on your email, your spam, because it got caught on there like 5 times while we were emailing back and forth. So just a little FYI. So pretty sure we covered it pretty quick. I was trying to get through here quick so I don't bore you guys to death, but this is a really, really, really cool product by a pro gun software company, which we really needed because I was literally pulling out my hair, trying what little I have on top of my head, trying to get all this information in something better than a poorly designed Excel spreadsheet that I had set up. And now, instead of just having it on my laptop and the ability to print it, I have it on their secure server. So should I need to reference it anywhere in the world, I can do so. So big thank you to armorybook.com for hooking up my patrons with half off. That was really cool of you to do. $100 a year for 50 guns to have all this usability and depth for your gun collection is pretty cool. I mentioned earlier I just bought this. My insurance company will do a blanket umbrella on the guns. You just have to show proof, which I do every year. I film a video and I set it to private on my YouTube channel so nobody can see it except them should something happen. But not only do they need proof of it, they need serial numbers, they need values, and any firearm over $25,000 has to have its own rider. So I had to have proof of the Fleming Sear in this SBR host gun that I have it in. So, you know, documentation is very important. It's going to be pretty hard for them to argue with you on what your collection is when you give them all this information. You just overload them. They're going to be like, wow, this guy really has his shit together. Let's not mess with him. Let's go ahead and cut him a check. Side note there on that, I learned the good way, not the hard way. When I totaled my Lamborghini last year, at the end of last year, I had an agreed value insurance policy. Do not get a stated value. Stated value means you're stating that this gun has a market value of $45,000 right now. Okay, what you want to do is get an agreed value. I told them right now to replace this at full retail, these are running about $45,000 to $46,000 in a Terry Dyer built host with a Fleming and a 4-position sear pack. It's going to cost 46 grand to replace it. I didn't pay that much. I paid less, thank God. But if it gets stolen, that's what I'm going to have to pay to replace it. They are having me go get it appraised. Now, to get that money, I have to have an agreed value policy, and that is, I'm saying it's worth $46,000. They agree that it's worth $46,000. It has its own policy. If it gets stolen, burnt up in a fire, whatever, I get $46,000 check. No questions asked, as long as there's no funny business. That saved my ass with the Lamborghini. Had I had an actual cash value ACV policy on the Lambo, I would have gotten much less than we had previously agreed that it was worth. Now for this, they're having me get it appraised by an appraiser. appraised. That is not even a thing. By an expert. They're having me get this appraised with documentation saying that that is in fact what it's worth. So those of you out there that have wrecked your cars before know that if you have an actual cash value policy, you're only going to get what it's going for at the time. If you get a greed value policy, you might pay a little bit more for the year, but if you total your ride, get your gun stolen, burns up in a fire, you're going to get that exact dollar amount. And having all this information at your fingertips, it's just going to make your life a lot easier. Not to mention, it's pretty cool to play around with all the graphs on here. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope I didn't ramble too long. I was trying to get through it to show you all the functionality. We just really breezed through it. You can get really, really in depth here on their website. Let's go ahead and stop screen recording so I don't kill my hard drive. And I'll use that when I edit this video right now. So thanks again for watching, guys. A lot of cool reviews coming. I have a really BA review coming up with Coltac suppressors. They have a belt-fed rated, yes, belt-fed rated suppressor cover with NFA review channel tags. And to get that tag, you have to be a patron. And not only will you get the suppressor cover at 50% off, it will have an NFA review tag on it with my logo, and on the back it says made by Coltac. It's the same material they use on their other tags. So pretty awesome that they did that for us here on the channel. I also have some reviews coming from energetic armament and AB suppressors. Well, so again, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. I know we didn't go out to the range and shoot anything, but these types of videos are needed because we need to protect what is ours, especially with the crazy days coming ahead. So if you haven't clicked that like button, please do that. It helps the channel, and of course the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.